There's no different angle, no clever solution, no trickety trick that's gonna move that rock. You've gotta face it head on.
Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel where we dive into the highs and lows of living with a disability and together find our way to the center of the two extremes. My name is Miguel and today we're going to be nerding out a little bit because we'll be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender and specifically how they portray their characters with disabilities. Now, I don't even know where to start with this show because it's honestly one of the best shows that I've seen, animated or not. For this video specifically, we'll be focusing in on the two characters that they portray with disabilities, so that being Toph and Teao. One of the reasons why I think this show is so effective is because they're not afraid to dive into the psychological intricacies that having a disability brings to somebody's life. And overall, I think it just shows how the problems, at least internally, that we experience are universal, because you do see other characters kind of experience something similar. So she's born into a wealthy family. Her parents are very overprotective. They think that she just can't handle herself because of her blindness, so they're very strict with her. We kind of also find out that she's a rebel because she feels restrained, right, by all those rules, and that's really not who she is. So she joins like this underground tournaments, and she's actually the champion of them, and she just kicks butt.
My daughter is blind. She is blind and tiny and helpless and fragile. She cannot help you.
Yes, I can.
You see that fear in her dad's
I've been
eyes.
here before and I'll do it again.
All of her father's reactions, I think, again, just very subtle, but they really drive the point across of his overprotectiveness. We get a glimpse onto how she sees. So right off the bat, right, we see that the show really just goes for it and really shows her overprotectiveness of her parents, how they just don't believe in her. It's frustrating for a person with disabilities, right, because it really does limit you. Back in season 1 of the show, they introduced this character named Teao. He uses a wheelchair, and through his relationship with his dad, we see the other extreme. So I gotta be honest, the first reaction that I had to Teao, like especially when he like flew over them or something, or like pretended to fly into them, at first I was like, wow, this kid's kind of and I didn't even notice he had a chair. He was flying in a chair, and I was like all against him. And then when he landed, I was like, oh. So in the episode, you get to know his dad, how he's an inventor, and he built this whole system so that Teao could glide. And he says a really interesting line. He says, I built this so that Teao could be on equal ground with everybody. But then that episode also shows how, because of that intrinsically good objective of his, he pushes it a little bit too far, and it kind of starts getting distorted into something that's not good. So Teao only pops up in the show every once in a while. Toph is really the main character that you kind of grow with. This clip that we're gonna watch next, it's kind of after she joins the team, and it shows kind of the conflict that kind of arises with some attitude that I think I personally have sometimes.
So Toph, usually when setting up camp, we try to divide up the work.
Hey, don't worry about me. I'm good to go.
Well, actually what I'm trying to say is, some of us might fetch water while someone else might set up the fire pit or put up the tent. Even Momo does his fair share.
I'm sorry, my neighbors are doing construction, so if you hear like a little buzzing, that's kind of what it is. Bad timing, I guess, with recording this video, but going back to Toph, right, that little interaction with Katara, you really get a sense of her personality. She's stubborn, she's very self-sustaining, and she's unapologetic about doing that type of thing. It's that notion of carrying your own weight and not needing anybody else to do it for you.
Ugh, land, sweet land. See you guys in the morning.
Actually, can you help us unload?
Really? You need me to help unload Sokka's funky-smelling sleeping bag?
Well, yeah. That and everything else. You're a part of our team now, and
Look, I didn't ask you to help unload my stuff. I'm carrying my own weight.
that's not the point.
You try not to allow yourself to depend on other people. That's a hard thing to do, right? So you kind of go to one extreme of, no, I'm not going to depend on anybody else. You can't go either too far to one side or too far to the other, because then you quickly run into issues. So she goes off after arguing with Katara, and she stumbles with another character named Iroh, who is like the epitome of what I think being a human being is. He's very humble, he's very wise, and he talks with her.
Here is your tea. You seem a little too young to be traveling alone.
You seem a little too old.
Perhaps I am.
One of the things I think that this scene specifically shows about Toph is that she's not afraid to change. And I feel like that's key when you have a disability. The show's also amazing at showing that she knows when to get offended, and she knows when it's okay to joke around about her disability, right? She has that security within herself. Sometimes, like it happened to me with Teao, you forget that she has the disability because she's so capable, right? And the show cleverly, just with a joke or two, just kind of, oh that's right, she's blind. But it's done in a really clever, really funny way, in a non-pandering type of way.
Oh, Sokka, you saved me. Mwah.
Actually, it's me.
Oh, well, you can go ahead and let me drown now.
What's this? I don't know! I mean, seriously, what's with you people? I'm blind!
She's not even trying to win this fight.
Not true. I'm giving it my all.
You're trying to keep us here and waste all our time.
Right. I think your friend just said that, genius. And since you can't see, I should tell you I'm rolling my eyes.
I'll roll your whole head. Everyone into the hole.
It's so dark down here. I can't see a thing.
Oh no, what a nightmare.
Sorry.
I think she looks cute. Like that time you put a sweater on your pet poodle monkey.
Good one, Star.
You know what else is a good one?
Those girls don't know what they're talking about.
It's okay. One of the good things about being blind is that I don't have to waste my time worrying about appearances. I don't care what I look like. I'm not looking for anyone's approval. I know who I am.
Again, it's a perfect switch of both sides of the coin. She deals with the bullies, right, by getting back at them, but then we also see how she is affected internally, right, and how she has to kind of process that. I feel like it's dangerous when you only do one or the other. So again, just props to this show for showing the different nuances of coping with a disability. To end this video, I just want to share this video clip from my friend Mike. He did kind of a behind the scenes for a movie called Making Sense here in Idaho about people with disabilities. He is also visually impaired, and I think the message he speaks about in his video really sums up Toph's purpose and what she shows through her character development over the show.
When you see a person with a disability, you think, yeah, I feel sorry for them, but there's no reason to, because they learn how to adapt and to move on with life and to live a functional life with what they have. This is going to be my life, and I'm going to make the best of it. You know, I'm not going to let anything hold me back.
That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone who will enjoy it or might benefit from hearing this message. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? What do you think about how they portrayed people with disabilities? Let me know in the comments below. Like always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, a rest of your week, and I'll see you on the next one.
Not a problem.
am so glad we added you to the group.